Talkin' Sex Live is recorded in front of a live audience. This show is for mature listeners only. Hello, you're Talkin' Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I'm Diane.
And I am Chet, and we are unlicensed sex therapists. We're just a couple who's had a whole lot of sex. We haven't had any type of training in this field. We just want to share our knowledge with the world and also answer phone calls from callers who may be calling in, and also talk about other type of sexual relationship health news and fun topics to discuss. We are joined with our good producer, our friend Wells. How are you doing tonight, Wells?
I'm great. How are you?
We're fantastic. Just it is Pride Month. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride to those who celebrate.
And speaking of Pride, we are joined by our gay relationship expert, Richard Colby. How are you doing tonight, Dick?
I'm good. I'm a little tired because that is a lot of light bulbs to have to screw in. And
did you put all of those bulbs in? And what is that building back? Oh, you're at UCLA. That's right. You're just outside of. That's the library, right?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Oh. Good for them for putting up all those lights. You put those up there for Pride?
I put up a bunch of them, but I did get James, my roommate, to help, and some of the other guys in the dorm to help out. And this is a good way to show your solidarity and show that you care and whatnot.
So it's I guess UCLA is almost done with school, and so your finals is coming up. What are you doing for the summer there, Dick?
I'm thinking about visiting my family and just kind of doing some short trips here or there. I don't have anything really big planned. Some people said I should go to Japan.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm like, that's big. I don't know.
It is huge.
Yeah.
That would be a big deal. But yeah, that's it. And take what I've learned from hanging out with all these college students and see if I can get my sex on.
Oh, very nice. That's pretty cool. Hopefully everyone's down for all that. Speaking of Pride, it is Pride Month. There's also tomorrow is the Pride Parade. There's actually two parades going on tomorrow. There's one in West Hollywood, or WeHo, as the locals call it around in LA. There's also another one in downtown LA. For some reason, I guess what happened was WeHo, like the organizers wanted to make a bigger event, but then they wanted to move it to a place where they can house more people downtown. But then the original people, this is WeHo, they were the first gay pride parade to start. It started up in the 70s, and they were like, no, we're just going to keep our own spot. So there's going to be two parades going on tomorrow. So LA is just going to be completely nuts. We're going to try to make it to one. We haven't figured out which one. I guess whatever one's closer or easier to get to. We're going to figure it out tomorrow, check the traffic and whatnot, and maybe try to take a train. But so, Dick, are you going to try to get over to one of the parades?
Yeah, I read up on the one on Hollywood, and they tout themselves as the original. And so, having lived in Seattle at one point, they had two parades, and the original one, and then the one that went to the downtown. And I would say go to downtown, go to where the future is.
Got it. But not the original.
Not the original. Never mind the original.
I guess they had like Christina Aguilera performing today at the downtown one. It was like a 2-day Pride Festival. We had to get ready for the show and whatnot, so we couldn't make that. But it seems like it's a fun thing. Have you been involved in many Pride festivals or parades at all, or is that something that you just...
I've attended a number. My experience is, it's interesting because in Pride days when everyone wants to be nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Pride is kind of like Palm Sunday for gay people.
Not Easter, not quite Easter, but Palm Sunday.
Yeah.
So all the gay people riding on camels and into Jerusalem, and people lay out palms for them.
I love the image of that.
Yeah, isn't that? That's quite the... I mean, it seems fitting, I guess. So why specifically Palm Sunday there, Dick?
Oh, I was just thinking of a religious day that
Mhm.
people make a point of being nicer to you, and they
Okay.
don't even know why.
All right. That makes sense. Well, speaking of being nice to people, I guess this isn't a very good
I don't know if I
segue.
would call
No,
it
no,
nice,
no.
but
So Wells, you brought this up a few shows ago. You mentioned the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, Depp v. Heard, and we chose not to speak about it because it was still going on, and we also realized there are people on both sides of this. I'm sure there's viewers who are watching Twitch right now because we're streaming live to Twitch, and we're also recording for YouTube, also for podcasts. People who are listening or watching this may have a strong opinion for in favor of Amber Heard or in favor of Johnny Depp, and so it's hard to navigate around those and talk about it to have an intelligent conversation that will make everyone happy.
well, you can't make
You
everybody
can't
happy.
make everyone happy.
No.
So it's just kind of like, well, let's try and stay neutral. But Diane has watched the whole trial, every minute of it.
I know. I
And
have. I did fall asleep at one part, though.
yeah. And for me, I'm not a big fan of
Trials.
or lawyers or depositions or
So
crime
fascinating. I
procedurals
find it so
shows.
fascinating.
It's not something that I'm really into. It just kind of makes me frustrated hearing them say objection over and over again about anything that they ask. But anyway, so Diane, what are your thoughts on the trial? I won't say what your opinion is on it, but what's your overall thoughts on everything that
Well,
happened?
it's kind of hard to say without voicing my opinion, but it does. I mean, I thought the way Amber Heard's testimony did seem a little inconsistent with the other people's testimony.
Yeah, and it's like, why are we talking about this? This is a relationship and sexual health podcast and TV show. It does have some huge implications for
The Me Too
movement, female voice, yes, all women being heard if they say that they're being abused. It is a very big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the other point where it's like,
there are narcissistic men, there are also narcissistic women, and unfortunately there are people out there that will fabricate things, or some of them are just mentally ill. I mean, that's also a thing.
And so I would highly encourage anyone to watch the actual trial instead of reading or watching some type of news source that has a biased opinion on either part. So if you were to watch the trial as it is without having any type of expert commentary, and then you'll hopefully be able to form your own opinion on it and maybe kind of put your place in the jury's position there. And
so you're saying the fact that I met someone at random who happened to live in the building with Amber and Johnny, like that person's opinion I shouldn't take?
Maybe, I mean, that's your personal take on it. So the whole law process is that, like, they can't lead the witness. They also can't, they have to talk. They only ask questions that are relevant. And so it's a very narrowed process. So it's, but go ahead and explain what you heard, and that's your opinion, and you have a right to your opinion, just like anybody listening has their right to their opinion.
Well, I was just talking about trying to find a condo in this godforsaken, expensive city that we live in. And I was at a bar and was sitting next to this woman who lived in the Columbia Easter building, which is where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard lived together. And this person did not have had said that they've been saying 4 years that Amber Heard has problems.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, that seems to check out with the narrative that's going on right now. You know, that's second for me. That's, you know, for anyone listening to this, that's what, third hand at this point, or
yeah,
hearsay.
Well, it's all hearsay, I guess, because you're
transit. There is no transitive property of hearsay. Well, I guess hearsay is transitive. Truth is transitive, though. Right?
Yeah. Well, also, Diane, I mean, you have a sister who has a very similar personality to what the different witnesses were talking about.
Yes, I do.
Amber Heard was like. So
yeah, I have a sister who it's my oldest sister, and she would fabricate stories that were not true. Now, whether or not she believes them is another story. I think maybe she even did believe them, but it was all lies.
So, and then when you were saying that when you were listening to Amber Heard, it
really reminded me of my sister who would fabricate stories, and it would be inconsistent, and they actually believe it.
I've met guys like that. In fact, my track record has been the hottest guys I've ever met are the pathological liars.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I haven't quite figured out the correlation, because I don't know that like the more you lie pathologically, the hotter you are. I don't know that necessarily one causes the other.
Yeah.
But when you are, like, for me, because it's all subjective, for me, like, these two guys were just drop dead gorgeous. They can get away with stuff because they're beautiful, and there's a bias towards beauty.
Yes.
No one questions them.
And it's the same thing with like beautiful women. Like people will just tend to go out of their way to help them out or to be nice to them. And so I'm not saying they take advantage of that, but they might understand that they can do that. And so it's,
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that some of them are also very charismatic and can be, and that doesn't.
Yeah. So I mean, part of being a narcissist is that you try to be better than everyone, and you try to deflect, and you come up with other stories that, if anything, that paints you in a negative way, you make up ways to have that not be true. It can be quite exhausting being around somebody who's like that, where they just can't
accept fault for
accept fault. And so so we've actually have some footage from some court footage that was not released. All of this is on YouTube. There's a Court Vision channel on YouTube that has all of the trial that they recorded and they put up without any type of like expert analysts like talking over it or anything like that. It's just raw footage of the trial. But I guess what happened was there was a day after the witness, Isaac Baroch, he was up, and there was some cross-examining that happened the next day that never got to the air. But we've actually found it. We're going to show it for you today. I've got to try and get this footage right now off the interwebs. But go ahead and talk more about this. Wells, you said you had some stuff that you wanted to say before the show, but you were going to save it for the actual show. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that?
Well, since we're on a biblical theme and we're on Passion Week, we mentioned that earlier. The way that a lot of us have digested this trial kind of reminds me of what Pontius Pilate says to John and says to Jesus in the book of John, where Jesus says, I came here to speak the truth, and Pilate just says, what is truth? I think it's horrifying the way that we get our information now, because some people's algorithm had caused them to have a ton of pro-Depp propaganda in their feed, and other people's algorithm had a ton of pro-Amber Heard propaganda in their feed, which I don't think is helpful at all. And I think pits us against each other, which is what the algorithm wants, because that leads to more engagement, and then more people are on the site. And I also think I don't presume to know what happened between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and I won't judge anyone's guilt or innocence. But I also just think that the sensationalized way that the mainstream media covered it, and the narrative around that, makes it less likely that women who actually have been abused will come forward and expect their abuse allegations to be taken seriously. So anyway, that's my take on that.
That is a very valid point. I found that video, and let me go ahead and try to bring it up here. Just a second, everybody. And we'll go ahead and start playing it here. So it looks like we got Isaac Baroch here. So we're going to go ahead. It's playing right now. So, Isaac, Please go ahead and discuss the night of May 22nd again when you or Amber came over for that party, and you just go ahead and describe that night again.
Yeah, she came over and was standing 2 feet away from me, and she's like, "Johnny hit me," and
Oh.
I'm looking at her, and I don't see nothing.
So you didn't see any type of any marks on her face?
No, there were no marks on her face. There were no marks on her breasts. She's got nice breasts. I didn't see any marks anywhere.
So did you notice any marks on her breasts?
Again, I did not see or notice any marks on her breasts.
Okay, so but have you seen her breasts before?
I mean, I got a good look at them every now and then, but she's fully clothed.
Okay.
Unless she has the cleavage out when she's going to red carpet premiere.
Okay. So have you heard of Amica cream?
What is it? Amica cream?
Amica cream. Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
What about America cream? Heard of America?
I've not heard of America
cream that's made in America.
No, I have not heard of any kind of cream that is America.
So if she was to put on American-made cream on her face, you would have no idea what this is, correct?
No, I would not know if she had America cream on.
What about amicable cream? Have you ever heard of amicable cream?
Again, I have not heard of amicable cream.
Amicable cream. Have you heard of amicable cream?
No, I have not.
So if she came in wearing amicable cream, you would have no idea that maybe she could go ahead and conceal any type of marks on her face if she was wearing amicable cream. Objection!
Again, no. She's natural a lot of times. No makeup, nice teeth, everything. She's a good-looking broad.
Okay, did you see any marks on her teeth? Were her teeth intact?
No, she had all her teeth together. Her earlobes were together.
Did she have both eyes?
Her eyes were in her sockets. Everything was together on her.
Would you know if she was having eyelash extensions? Did you see any eyelash extensions?
No, I did not see any eyelash extensions. Again, she likes to wear natural.
Was she wearing makeup?
No.
Was she wearing lipstick?
No.
Was she, did she have a push-up bra on?
She's got firm breasts. I believe there was no push-up bra on.
She have a girdle on?
I would not be aware if she had a girdle.
Did you describe her friends? How were her friends when she came into the house there before she went out for that party?
Good-looking friends. She's got good-looking friends. I mean, I would party with each of them.
Did they have makeup on?
Some of them had makeup on, yes.
Okay, describe the makeup. Would you be able to see if they had Amica cream on?
Again, I would not know if they had the Amica cream on.
Okay, what about ambergris cream? Are you aware of ambergris cream?
No, I'm not aware of the ambergris cream.
Okay, all right. What about if on the night when she left and she came back the next day, so the next day, the Monday.
And
you were inside of the penthouse.
28th, yes.
Then did you happen to see her at all in the house?
Yeah, I saw her in the house.
Any marks on her face?
There were no marks on her face. There were no marks on her toes. Her lips were nice. She was all together.
Was her hair still intact?
She had her hair intact, yes.
Did she
No extensions, no nothing.
Okay. The defense rests its case. You may go. Okay, so that is the lost footage. Nothing that exciting there. Wasn't that great? Wells, you don't look like you're super excited at all.
I'm just trying to tread lightly on this subject.
Okay, all right.
That's all.
Well, what do you think of that of that footage there? It seemed pretty. I don't know, have you watched any of the trial at all, or?
I was not aware of this character. Was that a real person in the trial?
That was Isaac Baruch. That was Johnny Depp's long-term. I guess he was friends with Johnny Depp for 42 years. 42 years, yeah.
40 years.
Over 40 years. Long-time friend of Johnny Depp, and they happened to. He lived with Johnny Depp for many years in the penthouse. in the, I guess that was the Columbia Tower or something like that. So
I think it's interesting that they rested their case after that witness. The discussion of Amica cream was the final nail in the coffin.
Well, I don't know. I guess Amica cream is like some type of concealer. Is that right, Diane?
No. It helps reduce bruises.
Oh, so it's not like a concealer.
No.
All right. Yeah,
It
I
does
mean,
what? It reduces what?
It helps reduce bruises.
bruises.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't had need for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I mean, also lots of concealer. I don't know if you ever watched any of the trial. They just hammer this guy for a very long time about like if he knows if Amber Heard was wearing any type of makeup, and yeah, I guess that they just kept on going the next day. But yeah, I mean, I didn't say that the footage was awesome. I just said it was missing. So, and we're the only place that ever got it before. So, I guess we're gonna move on to some callers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, does Amica cream work on hickeys?
I don't know. I think it's just bruising. I don't understand the whole science behind Amica cream.
Amica cream. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, go ahead, Wells. You're the statistician there. And then we'll go ahead and if hopefully we have some callers coming in so we can get to some sex questions, because that's what we do here on Talking Sex Live is answer sex questions. Have you found it yet there, Wells?
It contains Arnica montana. I was aware of Arnica cream, which is a pain relieving cream.
Arnica Montana just seemed like a Miley Cyrus character.
Hannah Montana cream.
And it's used to treat bruises and muscle pain.
Wow. All right.
And Amber Heard's lawyer recently claimed that the actress had used Arnica cream. Oh, he was probably just saying it with an accent.
Oh,
to hide bruises that her ex-husband Johnny Depp allegedly gave her in the domestic violence during their marriage. Attorney Elaine Bredehoft made the recent claims in court during the ongoing defamation trial.
Interesting.
Well,
oh,
I guess it's sometimes called Amica as well.
That's what her lawyer had called it as well during the testimony.
Over and over again. Just like
and
we
there
heard
was
there.
A doctor who says Arnica will not immediately cover a bruise. There's mixed data on whether it's effective or not to speed up resolution of bruising. Oh, this is just some random TikTok doctor. I thought maybe he was a doctor in the trial.
Yeah, probably not. But anything about this other ambergris cream or we'll move on. No, it's all right.
Okay.
I think ambergris cream is Thousand Island dressing.
Yes. Well, ambergris is that the stuff that whales produce, and then they make or
ambergris.
They used to make.
Oh.
Yeah, they make like perfume out of it and stuff, right?
Is that what you were saying? Ambergris cream?
Well, I wasn't saying it was on the video.
I think this whole trial is just a bunch of people not understanding the words that were being used.
Exactly. It was a lot of hearsay, objection, blah blah blah.
Leading the witness.
Leading the witness objection, but
grounds for foundation.
Yeah, that was all. And then sometimes they would say an objection, and they would list out like 3 different things, and the judge was like, I'll sustain the leading the witness there. All the other ones, I don't know. Don't answer the question. And then like the witness would just sit there and be like, can I answer that question or not? And so it's like that was the majority of the trial. It was yeah. But enough lawyer talk.
Is it possible to ask somebody a question, a series of questions, without leading them in a particular direction?
The whole
That's
thing
just
about
very odd.
It's up to the judge too on what you can.
I also felt that Amber's lawyers would anything that would be like objection leading, but then like Johnny Depp's lawyers were just the same types of questions would come out, and they're just like, man, we'll just sit back and let this happen. And so it was an interesting process. Law is something that I'm just not too happy to listen to. It just drives me crazy. But have we got any callers coming in?
We have Gloria. How old is too old to have sex?
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
How old is too old to have sex? You were talking sex live with Chet and Diane.
It's Gloria.
Gloria.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, you're trying to ask us, how old is too old?
To have sex?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yes, I want to know because my vagina is dry.
Ooh,
Oh.
There's
okay.
no liquids down there, and I gotta get this fixed.
No, it's all right.
That's fine. There's lubrications
Lots of
you can
lubrication.
use, and go to the store. They have
I'm
different kinds.
allergic to all the lubrication.
All lube because
Really? Have you ever tried coconut oil?
coconut oil,
It's
that's natural.
lubricant
That's a good
in it.
lubricant
Honey.
right there.
Honey, I've been around for 87 years. I've
Okay.
tried fucking everything.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I haven't had a penis in my vagina for 23 years.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Dry.
Dry.
Okay.
Huh.
So, but I mean, have you experimented with having a partner go down on you at all, or?
Yeah, there's no penetration there. You don't have to worry about that.
It's natural. I mean, spit's a pretty good lubricant, and you shouldn't be allergic. I mean, it's not the best. It's definitely not the best.
Not that bad.
Not
No.
nowhere close. But I mean, it is a lubricant. Yeah, I'm sorry. Spit,
I'm
like saliva.
87 years old. Who do you think invented going down on people? Come on.
So you
It was
invented
me.
going down
I
on?
was desperate one night with my late husband.
That's incredible. So you're the one who
If you
invented
don't believe
oral
me,
sex?
then ask my best friend.
Okay, I
Okay,
completely believe you.
right
I
here.
really do. Yeah.
So
So
you-
Hello.
what's going on here?
I've used ghee. Have you heard of ghee?
Geet?
Eat?
It's a kind of butter. It's
Yeah.
kind of butter.
Indian butter.
Oh,
Ghee.
butter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Does it work for
I
you?
got one of them in infections from the ghee. But yeah, we've been friends for a long time because we knew each other from Brooklyn for a long time because we grew up on 23rd Street, next to the pizza place. But we've been friends for a long time. But my vagina also dry, very dry. I used the ghee and then I got the infection. And it was not a good day at the gynecologist.
Okay, so are we still talking to Gloria, or is this Gloria's friend?
It's Gloria too, okay?
Oh,
It's
both
like
of you are
fucking
here.
Golden Girls, okay?
Oh my gosh.
I
'cause
live with my
Okay,
best
there we
friend.
go. Yes.
Oh, Gloria, who's your friend here?
Quote unquote,
Who's your friend?
quote unquote. Who's my friend?
Yeah, who's your friend? Does your friend have a name?
Gail.
Gail. Okay, so
Okay.
Gloria and Gail. So both of you have very dry vaginas, and
One has used the butter.
one's used the butter, and this is something that I haven't heard of, and I'm glad that you brought it up. It's called GEET, like GEET.
D to the
D.
H to the E to the E.
Oh, D
G. G-H-E-E.
Oh, G-H-E-E. Gee. Okay. So
Clarified butter.
okay. So
Shouldn't use it because you might get an infection.
oh yeah. So if
But
you use any type of
put 'em in
food-based
another
products,
account.
yeah, if you use any food-based products,
My best friend, quote unquote, guess what? We're lovers. It's fine. It's fine.
Whoa, whoa.
oh, you two are lovers. That's great.
Gail, no, Gail.
Happy Pride Month. I mean, yeah,
Gail.
no, it is okay. You can come out of the closet. It's a safe space. We're all here to celebrate. So, I mean, if you're having problems having things inserted into your vagina, oral sex, I mean, according to Diane, it actually feels better sometimes than actual penile to vaginal intercourse. So, if you can have a partner that will please you, how you actually like it. And I mean, Diane's had sex with lots of women, and she tells me on a regular that women are better at eating her out than I am, and so
It is a true story.
and she tries to tell me how to go about doing this, and I
always try.
It's all right. You know what? I don't have the parts, so I don't know how it feels, and it's better if you have the parts so you can tell your partner how it feels. Dick, Richard, you have have you ever had sex with a woman, Richard, or no?
Not to my knowledge. I have.
To your knowledge. I mean, I guess you've only had one side of the equation as well. I mean, I'm trying to ask if a man can give head to a man better than a woman can give head to a man.
I would think so.
I would think so as
Just because
well. Yeah.
I mean, I've had some good head from men, and and that's like, even that is in an echelon among men. So I would think a woman, like, I've watched porn of like women giving head to men and stuff like that, and I don't know, it doesn't look like they understand.
Oh,
wow.
Exactly the same. I think women understand females understand female anatomy. Males understand male anatomy. You know, if you aren't inserting a penis in your dry vagina, then I don't know that the lubrication is a big deal. But also, you know, you're using ghee so you can get cooking.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about ghee is that, or any type of food-based products on a vagina, you are risking a UTI,
infection,
or a yeast infection. So you got to be careful about that. Coconut oil, on the other hand, it does not promote any type of UTIs or yeast infections. It's actually quite
Aquifer.
Aquifer? No.
Aquifer?
No,
No.
aquifer. I mean, so, but Gail and Gloria, you've been quiet. Have you come out of the closet between your friends, or is this the first time you're telling anybody that you are open with each other sexually?
This is the first time. With two aunts.
With two aunts. Well, so okay, you brought it up with two aunts, but that's it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm telling you.
How old are
my
your aunts?
My vagina is still dry.
Okay.
Okay?
But
Gail
I mean,
does not have enough the saliva. It's not good.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's always, for saliva producing, that's an easy fix. Just stay really hydrated. Drink a lot of electrolytes, a lot of coconut water, a lot of water before you start having sex. I mean, you may have to pee a few times during sex, but I mean, we're all made of like what, 80% water, 70% water, 90% water, and that all of our natural lubricant is all water based. So you just make sure that you drink lots and lots of water before having sex. I'm
87 years old, okay? I drink tequila all day. I only got one fucking life.
Okay, that's
right.
One fucking life.
You're doing it. I have a friend.
And I've lived for 87 years drinking that shit.
Whatever makes you, keep ticking there. I fully support it.
I want to know something though, because the question was how old is too old. But if you're in a relationship with Gail, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the guy, like, do they still get it up? Can they still get it up?
Yeah.
Viagra.
Can old guys still get it up?
There is old, like the retirement communities, there is a high STD rate, and they just hand out condoms like it's the Olympic Village there, and different types of in the different retirement communities. And so they do take a lot of Viagra, and they have a lot of sex, and they do use a lot of lube, because the female vagina, when it gets to that age, it can't produce as much natural lubricant. And so it sounds like your problem is that you need to find a lubricant that you can use that you're not allergic to, and that won't give you an STI or a yeast infection. And so I've never really heard of a coconut allergy. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure there's everybody has allergies to, there's people who are allergic to basically everything out there. But
it's the smell.
It's the smell. You don't like the smell
of the coconut.
Yeah, that makes sense. What did Gail say there?
Gail's being mean to me.
Okay, got it. What did she say? I didn't hear that.
She said to take a fucking shower. I shower once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I've got a walker. It's not that easy.
Okay. Do you two live in a retirement community? Are you living together someplace, or?
We live in Gail's house.
Oh, very nice. That's very fortunate for you. A good situation. So do you have men over, or how are you meeting men, or is there any way that you're meeting men right now?
Well, when I leave the pizzeria sometimes, then I see a hot guy.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Robert.
Okay.
Mm.
And?
I think about him.
Oh.
But has 3 balls. No,
Yes,
I'm not
3
three
talking about
balls?
Robert.
Well,
I
you
want to
might...
talk about fucking Robert. You know what? You're jealous because Robert has balls. He has 3 balls.
3
He's got
balls.
none.
Well, why
Gail's
don't you
got
guys
none, no balls.
invite Robert over and
Yeah.
have a little three-way?
I'm sure with 3 ball, I mean, I don't know if I've never heard of 3 testicles, and maybe he can actually have some type of some super lubricant coming from his penis, because you know what, penises actually have natural lubricants. It's called a pre-jack or pre-cum that the penis produces. It comes from the prostate. Maybe if you try stroking a man and then massaging his prostate, guess what? A little bit of pre-jack comes out, and that's some natural lubricant that will help you out. So, maybe,
Just be safe, though, because you don't know where Robert's been.
exactly. Also, you don't know how fragile. If he's an older person like you, maybe all that can be like super fragile. I've never dealt with an elderly man's rectum before, but I'm assuming that it could be a little fragile. Maybe, I don't know.
I'll probably break his damn pelvis, but I'll try.
Maybe. Well,
thinking with 3 balls, like he's got like a Newton's cradle down there, and that might be really good for a tantric sex. Keep the rhythm going.
Oh yeah, that I can't imagine how that would maybe that would be amazing. But Gail and Gloria, I hope that we pointed you in the right direction. Is there anything that you want to follow up with, or?
Nah. I'm going to go find that Robert right now.
Go for it. Well, thank you so much, Gloria, and thank you, Gail. Have a good night. Please stay safe, sane, and consensual. Oh, and they're just out. Okay.
Gloria out.
Have you found any statistics about the third ball out there, Wells, or any other type of lube that we didn't mention?
As such as like how many men have a third testicle?
Yeah, is it a thing, or is Gail just
It's a polyorchidism. With men that are born with more than 2 testicles.
Wow.
Only about 200 known reported cases ever.
Wow.
Dang.
That was it Richard? Was that who it was? That's a very
Robert.
Robert, sorry, Robert. Yeah, that's a
polyorchid.
Rare man. Polyorchid. Okay. Wow.
Polyorchidism.
What about some other types of lubes that maybe Gail and Gloria can use when they bring
well,
Robert
we mentioned coconut oil, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good one. That's one of the food-based ones that it won't really affect. It's actually, Diane lubes herself up with coconut oil like every night. It's super hot. I think I mentioned this in the show before.
I believe you have.
Yeah. So it's good for your skin, good for everything.
There's oil-based, water-based, and silicone-based. So
yeah.
Baby oil, mineral oil, petroleum jellies, hand creams.
Would not recommend petroleum jelly or baby
or a hand
oil
cream.
for I wouldn't recommend hand. Oh, we're talking about things going inside
your vagina. No.
Yeah.
There's
I don't want anything like
water-based ones that
Water-based
mimic fertile cervical mucus with lower salt concentration. I believe I have one of those.
Ooh.
The silicone-based lubricants last longer than water-based varieties and usually safe for use with a condom. Plus, they can actually leave your skin feeling soft and smooth. So,
the silicone
a lot
ones,
to explore there.
Very difficult to wash off. Whatever surface it's on, if you get it like in the shower, it just does not come off. It's crazy.
Very true.
It's much more viscous, so I wouldn't recommend it for anal play. Anal play, you need something more thick. But if they have, there's got to be some type of silicone water-based lube that combines the two. But Do we have another caller coming in there, Wells?
Yeah, we have Johnny Beefy Johnson.
Johnny Beefy Johnson.
Sounds like a
Considering
porn
getting a
name.
penis reduction because apparently, well, he says his thing is too much for the ladies.
Oh, one of those type. Hello, you're talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I'm Chet.
I'm Diane.
Is this Johnny Beefy Johnson?
Yeah, this is Johnny.
Johnny.
But yeah, you can call me Beefy. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just a little down these. Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed. You just get a tattoo there, Chet?
Oh, yeah, that's been there for a while. Yeah, sorry. You're watching the show. I appreciate that. So I try to cover it up just so I don't alarm the viewers. But yes, it is a tattoo.
Yes, because that's what they'd get offended by, the tattoo.
I don't know. Maybe.
Not anything else.
Maybe. Too sexy? Yeah.
But it looks good on you. I wouldn't get rid of it.
Oh, well, thank you. I wasn't planning on it, but that would be very expensive and long. But Johnny Beefy Johnson, so you're saying that
you can, Chet, just call me Beefy. We're friends here.
Beefy? All right, Beef Man. So you're saying your penis is too big, and you're trying to find a good position to be with a woman so that you can put your penis in her so it doesn't hurt her. Is that correct?
It's just been awful. I'm not able to have even a relationship with a woman because my unit is, I'm hanging at about 19.5 inches long.
Flaccid or erect? Flaccid or erect there?
That's flaccid. That's flaccid.
19 inches?
19 and a half inches. Flaccid.
Yeah, or if you're outside of the States, it's 49.53 centimeters.
Wow. I'm very glad that you were on that actual conversion there. That is enormous. Do you know the girth, like the diameter or the circumference of your penis?
Circumference is around 15 inches, which is 38.1 centimeters for those out in the U.S.
And then trying to figure out what the diameter divided by 3.14. You're looking about a 5-inch diameter, about 4 to almost 5. That is.
It's an anaconda.
That is gigantic. I don't. Well, I guess first off, I think you're mainly concerned about the girth. So the length. I mean, if you had the typical 2-inch girth. I guess, well, if you could look up what the average girth of a penis is or the diameter, that would be great.
Average girth.
Or girth is like, it's basically
I know
the
what girth
circumference.
is.
But
it's just people usually ask the inches.
Yeah,
how long it is.
So, but my concern is, like, you can have a really long penis, and if it's the average diameter, you're only going to put in the average vaginal canal is about 4 to 5 inches, and so you're only going to get that in there. It doesn't matter if you have a 15-inch penis; you're just going to put the first 4 inches in.
We have the data in here.
Mm-hmm.
The average girth measurement: flaccid penis 3.66 inches, erect penis average girth 4.59. So
all right, 4. So if you divide by 3, that's a little almost 2 inches, but not quite. That's 1.75, something like that. But so I mean, if you're saying that like you have a penis that's 15 inches long, and then you have the diameter of like almost 2 inches there, then you can just put the tip in. But so for your problem or your concern, I wouldn't call it a problem, is that you have to find a woman whose vaginal opening can get dilated up to 5 inches. That's really big, because when you're at 10 centimeters for a female, that is when she starts to be able to push to give birth to a baby, and your vagina will tear or rip open. Basically, they either have to do an episiotomy or it tears to get to that size, to get that 10-inch diameter in there, or 10 centimeter diameter, sorry. So we're more concerned about your girth than your length. there are women out there who like girthy penises. It's just more about finding the right person. Have you had sex with a female before, or is this just something that's off your
I've
radar?
I've had lots of sex. I mean, even when I was a kid, my penis
What?
wasn't as big as it is now.
Okay.
Um, but it's just it breaks my heart because for as many women I've had sex with, I've put as many women in the hospital.
Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that. That's uh,
This is a curse, Chet. This
it,
is
it
not
it
something
seems
that
like
I'm.
it. It's a lot of men are
Uh,
like, I would like to have a huge dick, but they don't know the
yeah,
implications of having a large penis.
no,
Richard
not at
Where do
all.
you buy
Colby.
your clothes? Because I feel like, women with large breasts have to have, they're in pain and they have to wear bras that are extra durable. Like, what's your scenario?
Well, for a while I was using a tube stock.
A tube sock?
I used a tube sock, and then I used a Christmas stocking
So
at
wait,
one point.
wait. So you just walked around with a
Rip.
tube sock, you just completely naked. I think Richard's question is like, how
Yeah.
would you buy pants? Like, what kind of pants? I can picture like maybe hammer
Well, that's
pants, like just something with a
well.
huge crotch that would go down to your knees, like hammer pants,
It,
or like some type of variation
I
of. I
can't.
guess those India sarongs or something like that.
I I I can't even go to the store. Now, I've tried
Okay.
sweatpants. I have tried the MC Hammer pants. I've
Mm-hmm.
tried uh, Zumbas,
Yeah.
Mm.
Zumbas would
and
work.
I've walked around in togas, which was a really bad idea.
A kilt maybe,
People
like,
always,
but of course I think your kilt would have to be really like the
uh,
the the authentic kilts
it's
from
too
like
too
Outlander, the
short.
ones. Well, I mean, if the
Still too
the the
Get a
short.
long, long,
traditional,
long one.
the actual authentic kilts they went down almost to like your calf. They were, it looked like a skirt basically. Maybe
I
that would
would
help you.
I would think you
Yeah.
need like a sling that you have to wear, or like one of those
Yeah,
baskets they carry snakes around in. Just something
yeah,
that's
Well,
designed for
or
somebody like
like a
that.
baby Bjorn or something, but for
Well, we're
your
making this
lower body.
assumption. We're making this assumption like about vaginal sex. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're putting people into the hospital,
Yeah, that's not a good
just
thing.
not on any fault of your own, you just are that big.
of course not.
You're putting a round peg into a
Square.
different round hole. Like, I don't
A
want to say
very
A
small
square.
round
round
hole.
hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe you should see what other options you have, because you bring something to the table, as it were, that other people don't bring, and I'm sure there's some kind of unique experience that a man of your size could experiment with.
Well,
Yeah.
I've I've tried. I've tried to do things of, just trying to not have penetrating sex,
Mm-hmm.
trying to do 69, but
Hmm.
I took out a woman's right eye, and
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Oh,
I
that
haven't felt
doesn't
good about
sound
that
good.
since. Yes, I hate to say it, but made her cockeyed.
God,
I'm not proud of it.
damn it.
There are
Cockeyed.
some positions in the Kama Sutra
Mm-hmm.
that I believe are more catered towards this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Can
we have Woodward
you?
and Wadena with us today. If we want to go ahead and do some examples. Um, so here's our friends. We got Wadena, Woodward. So I think on the side of a bed would probably be best if Wadena wants to go ahead and get that position there, with maybe the legs out like that, and then the man sitting
Mm,
right there. Of course, you would be probably back here. That would probably be best. But like
uh,
I'm saying
little,
though,
little,
this
little further back,
there you go, right there.
further
All
back,
right, there you go.
little
But
more, but just a little more.
that would be like an 8 foot
There,
penis. That wouldn't.
that's about right. That's
I don't
about right.
know, but what I'm saying is that like you need to have a woman that's dilated that big. I mean, Have you ever thought about doing porn? You would be a hit instantly if you had a peanut.
Believe me, Chet, I did porn for just a short stint.
Okay.
I was working with producer Jerry Spitz.
Okay.
And we shot a couple of porns on his spinnaker sailboat,
Right.
Titanic, and we shot this one porn, me and a bunch of ladies, and he realized pretty quickly on that I couldn't have sex with them, even though they'd all come from the fisting world.
Oh, that would be the place to go do.
So,
I guess that was I mean, I was hoping you would get a lot of money for that. I mean, even if you don't have sex with women, give it another shot, and then you can maybe, hopefully, people just want to see how large your dick is. If you are interested in actually showing it, I would also suggest getting on FetLife and just state out. It's like, my dick is 15 or 19 and a half inches long and 5 inches in diameter, and I can guarantee you will get constant hits from women, maybe men. If you're interested, if you really want to have sex and you're interested in having sex with men, maybe give it a shot. If you
there's also a concept out there, like in the gay community, there's a position called the side, which is those are people who don't like anal sex.
No,
and so everything is non-penetrative for them. And I would think that there's probably a female equivalent of like, I like various things, but I don't want to be penetrated in their traditional sense. And you might put that out there. But if you're going on FetLife or one of those websites and you just put it out, you're going to have to put it out there. It's kind of like not showing your photo before going on a date kind of a thing. Like, you're just hiding something from people that they're going to realize anyway. So put it out there, and you're going to find that there are people who are prepared for this.
Yes,
and
definitely.
want to experience this.
Very much so. Yeah. So, Richard, you're saying there's bottoms, tops, verse, and then what was the fourth term? Tide?
Side.
Sorry, side. I guess bottom, top, and then side. That makes sense. So it basically you do everything that doesn't have to do with anal, like oral and hand. Manual. So yeah, I mean that is an option. I mean you can get your hand in there and start. Yeah, that would make sense.
I once bought a giant Indian non-breaded burrito. It was the size of my arm, and I clearly did not put that in my mouth at once, but I still somehow managed to eat it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I worked around the scenario. I walked into the scenario knowing what was going on, and I came up with a plan, and I enjoyed myself.
Is this a euphemism, or did you really get an Indian burrito that was that big?
No, I really did. I really did. Yeah.
So, but I do like the analogy though of being presented with a penis that's that size, and I can guarantee you there will be women or multiple women who can join and then try and make you ejaculate. So hopefully we got you in the right direction there, beef man. Do you think so?
I mean, everything you're saying is great, and I really appreciate it, and it's got me a little hard. So I think I'm gonna. I think I'll probably just, once we get done here, I'm just gonna watch the rest of the show and jerk off.
Oh wow, that's great. Thank you so much for calling in there, Beefy. I am curious as to how you actually jerk off. Like I don't know. Like is it a 2-hand effort? I can imagine something like that. Is that correct?
It takes a village, Chet.
So, well, there you go. We answered your question.
I want to know, like, when you're done jerking off, A, how lightheaded are you? And B, where do you have to go to? What do you clean up? Like, where do you go to clean up? Do you go to the kitchen behind you, or is it like, where does it end up?
Well, after I wake up from a 14-hour slumber, by the time my jizz is already dried up and corroded.
So I don't.
Have to.
it causes you to pass out.
I'm trying to imagine this. Like, are your testicles the same size? And then you have this giant 5-inch in diameter, 19 and a half long penis? Or like, and if that's the case, would it be the same amount of ejaculate that came out? So like, for me, Diane and I, we've actually several times trying to see how far I put myself up against the wall and I jerk off and I measure how far my cum can go. And I like to think that it could go about 4 or 5 feet, and it's really just like 2 feet. It's nothing, and I'm just like, yeah, I could probably jerk off and then get this really far. But I can imagine with if your balls are the same and you have this big penis, if the same amount of ejaculate comes out, it must look like a little dribble, or is it just like a fire hose and it just shoots out? What's going on with that, Beef?
Yeah, it's definitely a fire hose action going on over here.
Really?
I have to have a cleaning lady come in every Tuesday, Yolanda.
Wow.
She comes in and cleans it up, and then I try to have sex with her, and it never works.
Well, I mean, you should make sure that she consents there and ask her if it's okay. Is it all consensual?
Of course she did.
Oh, okay, and she just
she's the one who initiates.
Oh yeah, of course.
I tell her no, Yolanda, I don't want to hurt you again.
Got it. Again. All right. Well, Beef. So our options are FetLife, porn. What was some of other options that we were helping Beef out with today? Dig.
Looking for people who aren't interested in vaginal or anal sex.
Got it. That's the number
also
one.
side-by-side sex can be better for men who are well endowed.
Oh, fraudage.
Mm-hmm.
You are a prime case for fraudage.
What? Explain fraudage there.
People who are into fraudage is bodies rubbing against each other.
And so and that's it?
Yeah. I mean, I dated a guy who that he would have an orgasm just from like his body laying on mine, moving around. That really got him going. And it can be a total fetish for people, but those people exist, men and women, and that's what makes them happiest. And so to have a giant penis as part of this body experience, that's going to be something that's going to put you into the upper echelon for fraudage.
Yeah, I've been with a female that she orgasmed before, like I even started licking her vagina. Like went down on her and she orgasmed. She got so excited. So that was back in my past, back when Dick and I were college roommates there. We lived down the hall of our dorm there. But that's also an option for you there, Beef. I think that's all of our options. Do you think that is well enough for you, my friend?
Well, it's definitely options for me to play with and to work with, because I really am afraid of getting surgery.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want that. But I think also for you, you got to find out a way to live your life comfortably. Like, just find some type of pants that conceal and that you're comfortable walking around in and going out into public and just living your life. You're not happy if you're stuck inside, not doing anything, not being loved. And highly recommend getting on FetLife. There will be a lot of people who want to be with you, and if you don't want to make money off it, you don't feel comfortable doing porn, then it's a good option. But I really hope you stay safe, sane, and consensual out there, Beef. And have a good night.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate everything so much. And like I said, I'm going to be watching the rest of the show and jerking off to your tattoo.
Well, we're just my tattoo. That's great. All right, here it is. We're actually going to end the show here, but
oh yeah. Oh God.
And
oh God. Yeah, that's good.
Well,
is that Irish? What is it, Gaelic?
It is Irish. It's Gaelic, and it's part of all the same thing. We helped out somebody. We did help somebody out. All right, have a good night, my friend. So, Yeah, I don't know if you guys have dealt with somebody. What's the largest penis that you've seen, Richard?
The largest. Oh my! I never measure.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen various sizes, but I can't tell I've seen people bigger than myself. I
Mm-hmm.
hear that I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like there's a limit in both directions. People say size doesn't matter, but I'm like, like there's a functional nature to things,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's this range where okay, we can work with this, and then if you're outside of that range, then you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point because the game plan is different.
Yeah, because if it gets too big, then it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
But I Wells, you seem to be a penis connoisseur when you go to
Yeah.
different
Mm-hmm.
locker rooms. You
Sure
see
am.
lots of large penises. What's the largest penis you've seen?
I would estimate length or girth.
Both, or either.
I would estimate length. The largest penis I saw was at least 9 inches flaccid.
Wow, that is
Maybe
very
longer.
large. Yeah.
He was very large. And then girth one time, I saw a man in a gym locker room, and I was like, why are his boxers shaped like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just very odd that he has this large pouch in the front. And then he pulled down his boxers, and like I think he could tell that I was staring and he was used to it. So the expression on his face was just like, I am used to it, because he was flaccid and it was like thick as a Coke can.
Wow.
It almost must have been a medical condition.
Wow.
It was unreal.
That's the thing about, like, if you have a long penis, you're just like, yeah, nice. But if it's like super thick, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, he was longer than average too.
Okay, all right.
But it wasn't short, but it was
I've
just
been
incredibly
at the zoo,
thick.
and I've seen like a rhinoceros get erect.
Yeah.
And I know other rhinoceri are big, but or the females, they're large animals in general. But I don't know. I looked at that and I go, ha.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like a horse or an elephant. Or like a horse or an elephant. Like I've seen, those, and it's just like, wow, that is a large penis.
Yeah, this thing was like, it kind of looked like something that came out of the sea.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, their main skin is basically their foreskin, but then their penis head, and when they get erect, it comes out of it, and it just like rockets. It looks like a giant tube of lipstick basically that comes out, and it's quite impressive. There is one more question I want to ask you, Dick. When you are with a man and you see that a man is larger than you, do you? I mean, how does that make you feel? Or is that something that's like okay in the gay community, or is there like a little bit of like thought in your head that like maybe he won't like the size or shape or something like that, or what?
Well, some people get hung up on that type of stuff. It has happened. What's really strange is I'm very tall. So what I've found is there's been this inverse relationship that like a short guy has had a very large penis. And I don't know if it was larger than mine or if I just perceived it because in relationship to their body size, it just made
proportion.
it look bigger.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that really crossed my mind was, didn't expect that. Yeah. But I didn't ever get to the point, it's only been too small that I ever became self-conscious because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. Like I felt like this guy was taking steroids. Like it was kind of like I was
a micro penis.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. But for too big, if I get myself wrapped up on that, I'm focused on the wrong stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good note to end it on. We went a lot of places tonight, and I hope everybody was entertained and well informed. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We are Talking Sex Live. Please give this YouTube video a like, as well as the podcast, a like and a review. And please follow us on Twitch and also on YouTube at Throwdown Comedy for those two, and also on the podcast at Talking Sex Live. Thank you very much for listening. Please stay safe, sane, and consensual, and have a good night, everybody.